I don't know what else. I'm when I think of childhood like backyard things, I more think of like your classic like your hide and seeks.
Do you remember Spotlight?
Spotlight was grouse. Sardines.
What?
So it was like the reverse of hide and seek. So the person that would hides, and then then like you have one person that hides, they'll hide in a spot. We'll all look for that person. Say I find him, I then hide with that person. until everyone eventually is with that person. So like basically there could be a group of like 10 fucking people in a corner, and then you've just got Kevin's like, where the fuck are you? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with 2 eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. Mate, I saw the coolest thing the other day.
Really?
Yeah, it struck me.
What was it? That was shit. Sorry. No, that was shit. I'm so sorry. That was terrible. Why? Why am I fucking retarded? Fuck. Such bad, like... There's being overly keen on something, and there's just like, can't just fucking just give me with the topic.
Talk to me normally.
Fucking hell, I was so dry then. Like so dry. That was like someone's like just being like, it's like, why am I fucking here? Like, just fucking say the topic, can't. Just fucking do it. I'm so sorry.
Keep it running.
We can. Like, I don't fuck, honestly.
Are you going to give me a human response now?
I can try.
Thanks, bro.
No worries.
No, bro. Bro, backyard cricket is, I seen it on TikTok, YouTube. It's taken over.
Backyard cricket was big, but compared to what they're uploading on TikTok and my backyard cricket was never like that.
Yeah, the backyard cricket I'm seeing, think of just your normal pitch, right? And the backyard is shaped a diamond around it. So it's a very small pitch. But it's actually it's someone's backyard.
Someone's backyard.
Like full on. And I know it sounds silly, but this guy, even where everyone watches the game, it's on his deck.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive.
So I was watching and I'm like, he's got like 15, 20 people on his deck watching like with beers. And then you've got about 15 people, maybe less, on the actual pitch itself playing the game. I was like, mate, what a Sunday. Like
it'd be fucking good fun.
It'd be so cool. Just you with your mates at someone's place.
Nice convenient as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit hot. You can just come inside in the aircon.
Bro, it looked fucking awesome. And they're taking it serious too. And I like that as well because
they're not taking the piss. It's genuine.
I do really like that about my sports. When if I'm playing like a game of basketball, like say me and you versus so we get 2 mates over. I like playing to win and making it more of a competition.
Yeah, like it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun, but it's also a bit like, I don't want to lose.
Yeah, the competition makes it a bit more fun. So as I'm watching, I'm like, fuck, that would be a blast. But you know who it's not a blast for?
The neighbours.
The neighbours, bro. I kept thinking about it.
I'm also thinking, right, I'm like, backyard cricket.
They're loud.
Especially, they're loud, especially if you're drinking, you're going to be loud.
Yeah.
But the other thing as well is, if you don't have a net set up, whether it's that's the ball's going over the fence.
I was thinking, I didn't dive too much into it, but I'm thinking there's got to be rules because the ball would be, unless they have throwaway balls, like a bucket of balls where it's like,
true,
guys, there's going to be sixes that we're not getting back.
Yeah,
it's in Mrs. Cook's.
There's going to be people that are just going to launch the ball as hard and as far as they can. They'll do the classic 6 and out, but they're like, I'm making sure that this 6 and out's going to be the best 6 and out to ever take place.
And because last night, right, my neighbours had a party, and they're great neighbours. I think they've only had, since I've been here, I've noticed 2 parties.
It's pretty good.
And they're about my age. But last night, they had a few girls over at the party, and they were playing beer pong or something.
Love that.
Just like the kind of pick-me girls, like, look at me, like, I've got to get attention.
Film it, put it on my story.
Yeah, oh my God, so straight. Yeah. Janelle, just watch. This is elbows, oh my God. So that... I
don't want to drink, I'm fucked.
I even sent it to my girlfriend, and I'm like, can you... Because I could hear everything so loudly. And I think my brother was in bed. I'm like, poor bloke. I'm just editing. So I didn't mind too much. They don't do parties, and I'm not the type that would go over and be like, keep it down.
It's 11 p.m.
I'm an innocent man. Like, just leave me alone. Nah, so it's nothing like that. But I did think, like, fuck, having those neighbours that would do that maybe every weekend would be a drag, like would really get to you. Mate, the backyard cricket, having someone every, like, say, Sunday, Saturday morning. Like, say the game starts from, like, 9 to 3.
Summer.
Yeah. And all you want to do is...
That's a long December month.
You just want to enjoy your day at home. You've been working hard all week, and then it's just constant.
He's out, I'm not out.
Sliding door. I don't care who's out. I am halfway through 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm not fucking doing this.
My thing is, with the teams, like, are you like every now and then you like got a message like maybe some mates from work, you're like, boys, you're playing this weekend, massive game, you're in the finals.
From what I'm looking at, it seems like it's a full serious league where there's actual teams. Like, so if it might be at Damo's house, but don't get me wrong, Damo knows none of them. Like, it's proper. It's a proper team. That's why.
Can you imagine just randoms coming into your house and then also your backyard? Like, mate, we're up to bat. It's like, the fuck are you? Like,
mate, you know what you signed up for when you put the pitch in your backyard.
We're big swings, no dings, mate. We just beat the Billy Bruisers last weekend. We're at Shano's backyard.
Bro, that would be so...
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, man. I would have an absolute ball being at that house.
Oh, it'd be fun as fuck.
Do you know what? I'm also that type of person, though. I can't help it. If I'm at a party, like say the party next door last night, right? If I had that party here, I can't help but be that person that's like, hey, like, loving the energy, but guys, remember, like, we have got neighbours, like, we want to be respectful and all that.
That's true.
I don't know. I've always thought that. But I don't want to be a vibe killer. That's why it's so much better having a party at someone else's house.
Oh,
yours.
dude, way better. Pro tip: never ever host.
Never fucking
just handball that shit.
What were some other good backyard sports as a kid? Because classic Christmas, Easter, you'd be playing cricket with the family.
It was usually cricket. I remember
water guns.
Water gun, totem tennis got pretty heated.
Totem? Oh yeah,
like the tennis on the pole.
Yeah,
like it's a bit of fun. Like you're back and forth, and then someone would always just start hitting it a bit hard.
Yeah,
and then you start getting a bit of aggression into yours. What else was a classic one? I used to enjoy. Sort of like, it's obviously depending on the backyard, but sort of like playing like rugby a bit, like with your mates in the backyard.
Oh yeah,
but then that could also get very heated, and people can take that a bit too serious.
Wasn't that a shame? There were some games you play with mates, and like it'd be a ticking time bomb. It's like, oh, I know, fucking Kevin. He's a bit of a ticking time bomb with this. Like it just takes the one wrong tackle.
Yeah,
for him to
and he's gonna flick. Oh. I don't know what else. When I think of childhood like backyard things, I more think of like your classic, like your hide and seeks.
Do you remember Spotlight?
Spotlight was grouse sardines.
What?
So it was like the reverse of hide and seek. So the person that would hides, and then then like you have one person that hides, they'll hide in a spot. We'll all look for that person. Say I find him, I then hide with that person. until everyone eventually is with that person. So like basically there could be a group of like 10 fucking people in a corner, and then you've just got Kevin's like, where the fuck are you? What the fuck is going on? And he's just looking for like half an hour, and you're all like just sitting in a corner. You guys are on your phone, like just watching like the footy. You're just like, mate, it's been fucking 2 hours.
That's actually
like, what the fuck
hilarious.
are you doing? I remember I hid under a tarp, and then like there was like 3 of us. We didn't get found for ages, and it got to the point where I was like, it's pretty shit. Like I've had enough now.
Man, isn't that interesting? I wonder about the games that where someone's hid and they've gotten stuck.
Oh, fuck. That's a fear.
I saw a video of these 2 kids playing around, and one was jumping around doing that like funny scream, like, haha, you're never going to get me. And then he went into a fold-out couch, and the other friend like pushed it up, and the whole thing folded up on him, and he's inside the folded couch. So we're like, ha ha ha, you can't, like screaming terror, and the other kid's like trying to pull out the fold-out couch, and he can't.
No.
Bro,
that sounds horrendous,
mate. Some of those, it's nearly as fucking terrifying as getting locked in a walk-in wardrobe.
Fucking hell. The one thing that I'm going to go back to hide and seek here. How annoying was it when you thought you had an amazing hiding spot? The seeker comes, and you're the first one found, and you're like, are you fucking shitting me?
Thinking about this for weeks.
Or you found a grouse hiding spot. Your mate, like, who was with you, like, trying to also find a hiding spot, maybe in the same location, they're like, well, I know where someone is. It's like, don't you fucking dare snitch. I would hate that. I would hate that so much.
Yeah.
When, like, your mate would be like, no, he's hiding right here. You've walked past him, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, why? Why are you ruining my spot? I would hate that. I would get so petty about that.
Did your school have, I think it was maybe grade 6 before you go to high school, we had a few, like a whole day where we were training to get the opportunity to be leaders for a few groups that were in prep. And I think only like 5 people had to do it.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sorry, 5 groups. So 10 people, and you'd be split up. And the entire group, you would get chosen after this day of leadership games. I remember I didn't get chosen. I was like, oh, fuck, that sucks. Because it was like a full-on, you get taken out of class.
Oh, that's always good.
To be in charge of like 5 preps. And you're teaching them. And you get free reign. I'm like,
oh, gosh, we're just going to throw on the boxing gloves. Just want to knock him out.
And, man, I think... I remember I got to be a replacement once. Like, someone didn't come to school, lucky. They were sick, and I was like, sweet, so I get to go along. And I was partnered up with, obviously, a kid who's responsible. And the thing was a mess. Like, they were running around, and I was like, oh, it's very hard to control them. And then we leave, and we walk back to class, and the kid who's usually in charge of these preps goes to me, he's like, that would have to be the worst session we've ever had. And I just looked at myself like, you're never going to be a father. I was just so disappointed in myself. I'm like, you suck. You couldn't control these fucking 6-year-olds.
Walks to the drink taps, splashing your face like, what am I doing? I'm really going through it as a 12-year-old. I'm transitioning into a man.
I just said there was in Canada, you know how transgender athletes are going into female sports and just destroying the record.
Yeah, taking the piss.
Yeah. There was I think in the rules of this Canadian weightlifting competition, that pretty much, as long as you just identify,
really?
you can be a full-blown male, no change at all, but as long as you identify as a woman, you can compete. So this coach, right?
Yeah.
Went and made a point. This coach is like, this is absolutely fucked that this is even happening. And he went through those loopholes and went, I'm going to compete. And they couldn't say no to him. So this coach of, full-on strength lifters went in and just annihilated the record by like 100 kilos, easy. Like, he just destroyed the record with no competition to make a point. And now that record will never be beaten by a woman. Plain and simple. It just can't be. But do you know who held the record before him?
You want to say another man?
Yeah, a transgendered athlete.
Oh, see. That just pisses me off.
Doesn't it? It pisses me off too.
That should be allowed. I'm sorry, but like that should be its own like
they should have their own
specific, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Like that, it's just fucked. Like, how do you compete against that? You can't.
I don't think you can at all. Oh, matey, forget that. Forget that completely. I did see another video which kind of broke my heart a little bit. Ooh. There was there was a coach at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu who went to do a move on his student. Like, they were just rolling around. So it's the same as like when you're sparring, except it's on the ground. So you're trying to make that one submit. He tried to do a certain roll, but he didn't tuck the guy's head behind his hand enough when he did this roll, and the guy's neck snapped. And it was a very like 1 in a million, because I think of so many times when I see like WWE wrestlers fall on their head constantly. Like Big E, he fell on his head, right? Completely, like all his weight landed on his neck and he just broke his neck, but he's fine now. This guy in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he got paralyzed from the neck down. So he was awarded a certain amount of money for that. And I was thinking, like, the coach's life's wrecked. The student's life's wrecked.
I feel like the coach will never want to coach again.
No, I wouldn't.
Like that's too big of a like...
The thing is, that's like such a one-off. Do you know what I mean?
But
it's
I
so
suppose
scary to think about. Because I watched it and immediately I just went, oh, because I can get swept in Muay Thai. It's like someone can catch my kick and then they use their other leg to sweep out my other foot. So I'm in the air and I get dumped. Man, I see it all the time, and I've done it to a few people, and I'm very gentle on the way down. because I get worried about how people land. Like even, on the Sidemen, Harry from the
Yes.
Sidemen, he did like a front flip the
Dude,
other
did you
day,
see?
and he landed on his neck, and he's just laughing about
That's
it.
the second time he's nearly fucking broken his neck.
On the car,
the car's the worst one.
That's what I mean, bro. So many people. There was a wrestler. He wasn't WWE.
Yeah, he
but
sent me that.
He did like a full-on moonsault. I could not. Imagine a WWE ring, people, and a guy has gotten up to the top rope and he's done a backflip, and the guy has landed directly on the top of his head. You couldn't ride any better. He landed directly on the top of his head. He's okay. Like, he's definitely got damage, but he's not paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, he's not like in a wheelchair or anything like that.
Oh, it's just, bro, some people get lucky, some people don't. It's just, ugh.
Some of the injuries just in sports is ridiculous. Like, you sent me one last night. It was like this guy's ankle just like, that was grim.
In AEW, they did a spot off this ladder where he went through a table, and they were completely fine, obviously, because if you land correctly, you're going to be okay. You just got to pretend you're hurt. But this guy couldn't pretend that his ankle span all the fucking way around behind his
I was watching the video, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I saw, and I was like, oh,
yeah. Like it was a shock to me too. I was like, oh, I don't want that.
And just your body looks like bloody plasticine. Like little Gumby. And ankle's not meant to go that way.
Oh, fucking! I trained with someone. He snapped like his big toe, and his big toe's been in so much pain. And you'll laugh about this next one, not this one though. But the other night when I was sparring with him, I just hear something, and I hear him go, "Fuck." And he's not allowed to train, but his doctor said like you need to be in a boot for like the next 6 weeks. But this guy's like.
Just doesn't care, like he just...
he's just addicted to working out, and I think he's one of those guys who he can't not be doing anything.
Yeah, gotcha.
His activity is working out and exercise. So, like, I'll show up to the gym, and he's, like, doing a full-on full-body workout before the Muay Thai session.
Oh, shit.
He's jacked. He's going nuts. And he hurt his toe, and because he can't stay away from it, like, because he's like, I need to be doing something. He's been training with it regardless. And the other day, he's like, fuck. And I hear him and he hits someone's knee. And I think after training in the gym, he's like looking at it. And I think he's like, fuck, I think I snapped it again, bro. So he's rolling the dice every time because the whole thing is he needs surgery if it...
Dude, yeah, like you're making it worse. Like as much as it sucks doing nothing, like you need to
every time I go to spar with him, I'm like, bro, let's just do boxing. I was like, let's just do, stand up and no kicks. Because it's so ridiculously easy to hit your toe on so many things. You do a push kick and someone blocks with their elbows. Yeah, there's all this kind of stuff, but man, the one thing you'll lose it at. there's this kid I spar with, and he's very fast, right?
Okay, right.
But his defense is shocking. So anytime I'll go very light, but
he just absorbs
I'll
a lot of
this kid up like there's no tomorrow. Like, and sometimes like fuck,
he's gone too far.
No, definitely not.
That's
I did that once the other week.
Really?
Once because there's a kid.
How does that feel when you're the person? Like, were you like? Oh,
no, I did it because he hit me too hard.
So it was like a hit for a hit sort of thing.
Yeah, no. So he is this kid that has this really long reach. And it's been kind of known that he goes a little too hard in sparring.
So was it more like a know your place?
I was a receipt, mate. I kept kicking his leg because what I do is if I'm going light, I'm aiming for a certain body part, but I'm not going to fucking throw a straight punch that'll knock you out. I'm going for like your body or your legs because even if I hit them repeatedly, it's gonna hurt a bit. Over time,
and the leg kicks take.
But it's not going to be something where it's like, your head, like you're dizzy. Like it's not going to get to that point. So I just kept kicking his legs, like just kept like chopping him out. Anyway, he did like because his reach was so long, he did this massive long uppercut where like he pulled his hand like it's like he behind his head and loaded up like a cartoon character.
Monkey D. Lucas.
Yeah, and it just got under my guard. I guess I was going to throw a punch and
clipped you up.
Yeah, clipped me up, and I was like, oh, okay, but it was enough force where I'm like, that's so much harder than anything I've been throwing at you. Yeah. And I literally did this. I go, oh, okay. And I'm not kidding. I did that like Muhammad Ali thing where you distract them, like you just put one arm up. And then
so
you hit
his
him
focus is all on that?
Yeah. So I think I put, but usually if you do that, I do that as a joke. It's for the jab. And I always usually get people. This time I put my lead hand out. So I distracted the lead hand, and then I just went straight through with a right cross. And it went straight through his guard, like straight on his nose, like punched him straight in the face, and his head's flung back. And I like full on stopped. I'm like, sorry, bro, that was too hard. Sorry. And I just quickly gave him a hug and went back to it. And then, yeah, because that was a moment I was like, I think I said something to him. I was like, now we're even, or something along those lines.
I feel like you couldn't help yourself though, because it's sort of like, dude, it's just sparring. Like, calm the fuck down. But at the same time, like, if you think that I'm going to be a bitch and not throw him back, you're fucking kidding yourself.
Yeah, if someone gets me too hard, there's always got to be a receipt.
You have to. I feel like you have to.
So with him, like, I got him right in the fucking nose. I was a bit like, oh, there's a receipt, but that was a good receipt. Like, fuck.
I'm pretty content with that one.
But right, that same night, what happened was, it was so loud. There was a guy sparring behind us, and it was that kid I was talking about that's really fast, but he just has poor defense, right? Gotcha. And I sit there and I go, bro, if you
worked on your defense
and like these punches got through, you do very well, because I reckon I'd be like another maybe 10 kilos above him, right? So for someone his weight class,
he's doing pretty well.
I think he'd do very well. Anyway, he goes up to someone who's probably weighs less than me, but he's like a little pocket rocket. Like, he's super fast. Okay. Super fast. So they're going up against each other. And, bro, I reckon I heard this. All right, so I'll try to do it.
Send the scene.
And keep in mind, I'm just sparring some other dude. I'm not looking, and I just hear...
Mind your own business.
Oh!
Pretty good at acting.
Bro, this kid got hit in the nuts so hard that he had to leave the mat and get on all fours and just be like, trying to throw up. I've never seen someone get hit in the nuts so hard. Like, he was running around the gym. Like, you know when you're in
your nuts?
No, you know when you're in so much pain that like you just don't know how to act, so you just run in different locations but you don't know where you're going. But he was in so much pain. Oh. And I asked him last night when I saw him, because it would have been, think about if you're standing and you go to kick someone, you're basically, like, your legs are now doing the splits. Like, one leg is in the air, one leg's in the other. While he's doing those splits, another guy's just kicked him flush in the nuts, like, with his fucking shin.
Fuck.
And I asked,
that's a lot of force.
So it was so funny. So I asked the kid who got hit by the nuts when I was sparring him last night, I was like, how'd you go the other day? And it was like a flashback to Nam. Like, he just looked at me and went, oh my God.
I want to talk about it.
He's like, oh man, I've never been hurt that bad. And then straight after him, I sparred the guy who did it. I said, bro, I was that kicking the nuts. And he goes, bro, I've never felt so bad. It's like, holy fuck.
What a mixture of emotions.
But just watch him do zigzags along the gym, trying to find, he doesn't know what he's looking for, but he's running for it.
He's looking for something. Did he ever find the place? I don't know.
Bro, I just remember, like, 2 minutes in, I'm sparring someone else. I look over, he's still on their hands and knees, like.
That's the thing, wasn't it? Even in high school, you just get sad, and you always just have the and they're like, oh, like.
Right. But we talked to before we left. There was a few of us were talking about stories of getting hit in the nuts, because I was like, oh my fucking God, like, it's so bad. And one guy, like, full on went up and he goes, oh, it's so if it happens, though, it's so dangerous. Like, actually twisting your nuts.
I've heard about that.
Actually twisting your nuts is very... We went to high school with a kid who did that, and he was in so much pain that he went to, like, hospital. And one of the guys there, they said, oh, I had a friend who had the exact same thing. Like, he got hit in the nuts, like sack tap at school, and he had to go to hospital because he was in that much pain. And apparently, if you let it go for too long, if you let that pain go for too long, it can reduce the chance of you having kids by like 60%.
Fuck.
That's what he said. He's like, it's massive. You need to like get that fixed straight away. Another guy said, yeah, I had a mate and he was getting a hand job. Right?
Yeah, right.
And while he was getting a hand job, the girl was playing with his balls, and the girl, like, obviously, like, not knowing what she's doing, like, you just got to be gentle, like, unless you're with a fucking savage. Yeah. So,
massage.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, instead of doing the massage, like, full on, like, twisting him like it's fucking, and she's mid, like, jacking him up, and she twists the nuts, and his nuts get twisted, so he had to go to hospital. Can you imagine like that pain? And it would be such a shock too because you're enjoying something.
Yeah, I've never felt like this before.
Yeah. That would be one of those moments too where it's like, because you'd have to like really not care about the person and be like, can you fucking stop? That feels so uncomfortable. Like how many times like have we just go, oh, just deal with it. Just deal with it. Yeah, just deal with it. Like, it's okay. It's going to end soon.
I'm my proudest wank.
Guys, that was Morokai too. I'll see you next one. Boom.